Welcome to the Contractor Fight Podcast. I am Derek Johnson.
Yeah, I'm Tim Petroni. Nice seeing you, Derek.
Always good to see you, Tim. How
Yeah,
are you?
good, man. It's something I want to talk about that I'm seeing a lot of, and I know that you and I have talked about it before. You're not seeing it as much as I am, but I'm sensing that it's a common thing going on this time of year where people are saying no a lot for various reasons. And you and I talked about this off air, and you're not seeing it. So why do you think that you're not seeing it that other people are?
Well, I think about first off is our social media. So people are very aware of what we do. And with the garden center and just I guess our pre-qualification, our pre-qualification process of seeing what things cost before we ever get on the phone. We have a very simple system. It's not too much. So I think that's really what it is. I'm getting no's, but I never know about it.
Yeah, maybe that's what it is. So by the time they're getting to you, they're already been qualified to get on the phone with you. With the process that I have, similar thing. You and I have very similar things, right? So we have pricing on our websites. People know what things cost. So when they call, just having a heartbeat doesn't qualify them to be our clients.
Oh.
I'm getting a call. I'm getting the weirdest thing. It's like they actually have never been like have no concept about what things cost, and I don't know why, but they're coming out of the woodwork like that. Let me give you an instance of a story. Um, got a person who reached out and they were desperate. Need your help as soon as you can get out here. Yeah, that was the message. Submitted some photos. Scheduled a call with me on my calendar. All automated. Goes to my automation. Scheduled the appointment for yesterday morning at 8:30. Get on the phone with the guy. Phone rings. He answers it. Sounds like I woke him up. I'm like, weird. Expecting a phone call, waking up, and what do I think to myself when I think of somebody not being up at 8:30? Who am I speaking with, Eric? Would you guess?
I would think an older gentleman.
It's a total opposite. It sounded like a young guy, a young man, right?
I guess it goes both
Um,
ways. When you're young, you
yeah,
don't wake up early. When you're old, it's like screw it. I'm not getting
yeah,
up
yeah,
early for nothing.
absolutely. I says, so tell me a little bit about what's going on, how you best how you hoping I can help you. And I'm looking at a picture of like a pond. It's a bear liner pond, and it's PVC piping. That's a white piping, and it's got like maybe four 90-degree fittings on it, and going up into a plastic blue trash barrel at the top of this waterfall. And, I said, "So tell me what's going on. How are you hoping I can help you?" And he says, "Well, me and my friends have built this pond and we did all the hard work already. We need somebody to come in here and fix this thing so it doesn't leak." I said, "Well, tell me more about that." He goes, "Yeah, we did all the hard work. We need somebody to come in here, put all the rocks in here. I have all the rocks here and seal this thing so it doesn't leak." I said, "Well, tell me a little bit about your plumbing, your filtration, and what are you going to do with the pond? What are you thinking about?" And he says, "Well, we're going to raise koi." And I mirrored him. I said, "Koi?" He goes, "Yeah, we're gonna raise koi. We're gonna sell them." I said, That sounds like a great idea. How much research have you done? How much information have you gathered?" And he said, "Well, I've been gathering information for 2 years." I'm like, "That's a long time." And as I'm speaking with him, Derek, I can hear him yawning. I can hear him moving around in the bed. I'm like, "This is a young kid." I'm thinking to myself, "He has no idea. He has no idea what he's involved with." And I said, what gave you the idea of using a rubbish barrel?" He goes, "Oh, that's the way you do it. I saw it in a video." I said, That's outstanding.
What?
What a great idea."
What did you just say?
What'd I say? Trash or rubbish? What'd I
What?
say?
I don't even know what that
Rubbish?
means.
Rubbish.
Er,
It's
Like,
a Rubbermaid trash barrel. Rubbish. Rubbish.
I don't even know how to say that.
It's okay. I'll learn you.
It's a
So
trash can
yeah, yeah. And I was like, I want to get to the end of
made for
this thing.
rubbish.
Rubbish. Rubbish. Will. I says, "I got to get to the end of this because this guy's he doesn't know what size pump he has. He doesn't know what kind of filtration he has. It looks like a can." And it's like, I'm going on and on. It's like, can you just share with me and like, is there do I need, what I need to be sensitive on as far as concerning the timeline and budget? And he said, "Well, I need you here for Monday to do this." I'm like, "Okay, what about the other question?" He says, 5 or 600 bucks. I'm like,
5 or 6 for what? Like
for what?
the rubbish can?
It's empty of rubbish. Um, I'm like, I like this guy just disqualified himself on both things. So, because we're in the service industry, I don't want to offend anybody. I gotta say, look, there's a couple flags here I need to talk about with you right now. Is that okay if I just be candid with you? And he says, "Yeah, of course." I go, If you and I were agreement upon the scope and what we're gonna do for you, and I understand you did all the hard work already, and I could just come out there and kinda hook this thing up and all that, I couldn't be there till the end of September. I was just that doesn't work for me. I totally get it. Seems like you're in a hurry. Yeah, it's like, "All right." I says, "Let's talk a little bit about money." I says, "I can't do anything for you for that much, and I don't want you to be mad at me." "No, I totally get it. I'm gonna keep on looking." I said, "Who else have you tried?" He goes, "You're the only one I called." These are the types of leads I'm seeing, even as if I never had prices out there, and they don't watch our videos. He just happened to stumble upon a Google search or however he found us saying, "Hey, these guys do ponds and water features. I can hire them to do the whatever it was, sealing so his waterfall doesn't leak, to his rubbish barrel, his trash barrel."
Yeah, that's not good.
Right. Um,
It's I wonder if it's because the way your social media has because you've had a couple viral videos, and I wonder if it's one of those things that your exposure is broader now, and so they just go, "Well, that's gotta be that's the person. Why would I contact anybody else?"
I think that's must be something like that where people are finding us, and I talked to a guy today from New York City. He saw our video. He wanted me
New
to come out
York
and fix his
City.
pond. New York City, and he was, like, almost 3 hours away from me. So I had to I passed it on to another contractor, another CAC in that area. It's like I couldn't do it. But, hey, it's getting the traction. I just gonna need to isolate that but let's go back to these no's real quick. For the amount of no's to yeses, Derek, so 7 out of 10 people are my client. 7 out of 10 people will not be my clients. I have to go through the process of no's, and I know that it may be I may have to go through 21 to get my 9. I may have to go through, 14 of them to get to my 6. I don't know. But there's a process of taking no's and not getting yourself beat up, emotionally. Because it was this morning, I was having coffee with my wife, Janelle, out on the deck this morning in the swing before I left to the office. And I told her, I said, Janelle, it's really the weirdest thing. For the past 2 or 3 weeks, I've been getting so many damn no's. It's kind of, if I, if it was, I mean, I feel like I'm beating myself up. Like there's something that I'm doing that's wrong. And she, you know what she said? She goes, Tim, we have the same conversation every year.
She's wise.
Yeah,
She pays
she's
attention.
on to me. I know. She goes, "It's a normal thing," and she goes, "'Cause I know you're worried, you wanna fill the schedule to the end of the year. I have a couple months to fill yet, but it's a normal thing, and you have to be patient. You have to realize that
Yes.
I'm tuned up. I know how to talk to people. Sometimes you're out of touch with a little bit. You need to have a self-check, and I would reach out to you or to another fight coach, see if, something wrong with the way my mind is when I'm selling, but I feel good about it. I feel strong. So it's not me. It's just something I have to go through and becoming aware of the fact that these things are always not gonna be people throwing cash at me and have to be okay with that. It's a process of filtering through the people who aren't my clients, and like I said, most people aren't, and that's okay, and I just so many all at once just kinda got me down. Got a weak moment
It's
there.
but you know exactly how to handle it, and that's the best part because you're not doing the excuse me. You're not going out and wasting your time to get to know in the yard. You're finding out on the phone. You're going through the 5 steps of the entry process, so it's a good thing, and what the fact that I like that you're getting a lot of no's is because that means you got leads coming in, so that means your marketing piece is working, and
Oh,
that's
yeah.
very, very important. So, yeah, I'm okay with getting no's, but I don't wanna get I think about it, it's right.
You have to, you have to, you have to. It's a numbers game. Um, so I guess the message is, it's like even guys like me go through a slump, and it isn't my slump. It's a slump. It's just what it is. And you have to be strong enough to realize that I'm not changing the way I sell. I'm not changing the way my business is. I'm just embracing the fact that you can't win them all.
Mm. And we're in the lull that like we talked about it before. This happens every single year. It's just when the kids go back to school, people are still finishing up some summer breaks and depending on which place you're in, most of the kids around my area have went back to school. I know in different areas they go back a little later. And that's yeah, it's normal. And this is where we should be taking advantage of the time when things do slow down and spend time with your family, spend time with your friends, and enjoy yourself because it always comes back every single I mean, Tim, you've been in business just a little less than me,
Mhm.
and somehow we're still here and it still works.
Yeah,
Just gotta
it
be
is a
patient.
cycle. It is a cycle, but, it just doesn't feel good to get so many no's.
Yeah.
But just to know that it's a cycle, it always comes back. The marketing's on point, you're getting the leads like I am, and just a couple stuck through. Too
Uh,
many.
too
Um,
many.
too many. The automation, the website and stuff filters out to a lot of people because I know I could see a lot of people land on my website and then bail out after a certain point. It's because when they get to the prices, like, oh shit. It's like, so it helps. But yeah. So hang in there. That's my message that it's only a cycle. I'm Tim.
I'm Derek.
I will see you next time.